everyone, and welcome to our segment where we spotlight someone who is thriving in the village. I'm Cindy Whitney, and I'm so lucky because I'm sitting here on this warm sunny day next to the Aliso Creek, and I'm getting to spend time not only with my friend Diane Johansson, but also with her little ladies, Noelle and Daisy. Hi, Diane.
Hi, Cindy. How are you?
I'm good. It doesn't get any better than this, does it?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. The dogs want to say hello too.
Oh, there they are. Hi, ladies. Well, I wanted to bring you on to this segment because I'm so fascinated by your process. We met about a year ago, just by chance, at the Performing Arts Center,
Yes.
and we've had these interactions where we've gone to things deliberately or just run into each other so many places. So I asked you, how do you do that? How do you find these places to go that interest you? And you told me that you've had a strategy since you moved here.
Yes.
Could you share that with our audience?
Oh, I certainly could. You know, when I first moved here, I had not ever gone anywhere by myself. I always had friends or family that did everything with me. I never went by myself. So when I came here, I thought, oops, this is a new idea for me and a new adventure. And so right away, I turned on Channel 6, that's our TV channel. They came right into my room and right in my living room and started telling me about all the things that go on here. All kinds of fun stuff and adventures and activities, and also with the community, things that go on in the community. And so I wrote down a bunch of stuff from that, and then I subscribed to the Globe newspaper. And I took that and I started highlighting things and cutting things out, and didn't have much paper left by the time I cut all these places I wanted to go, because it tells you all the activities and events that go on for the week and for the month. And so, then, after that, I went to the clubhouses, because they have flyers in channel, I guess it's Clubhouse 3, they've got like over 100 flyers. And so I picked out all these flyers that I could find. I went home, my table's full, right, of everything, all kinds of papers. I had to come up with an idea of how to organize this some. So I bought a great big calendar and started writing down all the things I wanted to do for the month. And sometimes there were 3 things a day, but of course I couldn't do all of those at once. So I had a folder, and all the things that I would write on my calendar, I would put on the right side of my folder, the flyers, so that I would know the details. And everything that I wanted to do that I couldn't get to that month, I put on the left side of my folder. So I had all this organized and had all these things to do, and then I thought, uh-oh, now I have to do them. And I'm going to be doing them all by myself. See?
Right. So I like the idea that you had these folders, because it's easy doing what you were doing to actually become overscheduled. You could actually sort of burn yourself out and then pull back from it and say, there's too many things to do here. So you were able to just manage it so that these things were something that you could do, and that you would do. That way you would actually go to them. So, okay, so you've got your calendar, and then you went. What happened when you first went in? Was it what you thought it would be?
Yes, it was more than I thought it would be, because I'd go in to either an activity or an event, and I'd sit down to the table. I'd sit there, and the dog, say hello to the doggy over there. Maybe he'll move on. I'd sit down and I'd say, I'm Diane Johansson, I'm new in Laguna Woods. And all of a sudden, instantly, I had friends, because everyone here is friendly. And they all would talk to me, and they'd tell me about what they did.
Yes.
They'd tell me about other clubs that they'd go to that are wonderful, that I should maybe attend and things. And I did this for 6 months. I went from place to place, event to event, saying, I'm Diane Johansson, and I'm new. And I'd sit at the table and smile, and I'd get a whole table smiling back at me.
Wow. So it's kind of exponential, isn't it? You go there and you have one set of friends, and the next thing you know, somebody has suggested something else, and you can see them again and make new friends.
Yes.
And so is that how it sort of snowballed for you?
Yes, it did. It did. And I just continued to do this over and over again, you know, to all the new events. And my calendar, you know, each month I'd fill it up with new things and new places to go. And those places that I enjoyed, I would return. And then there was all those left side of my folder of new things for me to start and to get involved in.
Now, I imagine that these 2 little ladies provide you another level of meeting people, such as dog walkers and people who are dog people.
Yes.
As you go out and walk, you're meeting a whole other group of people that you can become connected with.
I certainly am, because the dogs love to play around with the other dogs and the little doggies, and they like to talk to each other and sniff at each other and so forth. And then I can talk to the people and all the residents that live here, and get to know residents that way. And also on different hikes and different places you go,
Yes.
there's a lot of places to walk here in Laguna Woods.
Yes.
And so, and I'm always meeting new people and seeing all the beautiful trees and all the beauty that we have here.
Yes.
It's available.
And I want to mention too that you really commit when you go to these things, because I've seen you at the Woodstock event. I've gone to a fashion show with you, and you show up in the hat and the jewelry and the costumes and the whole thing. So you really there's a rich participation that you have in each one of these things. Does that help too, to help you to
yes.
thrive?
Of course, the attitude. Your attitude is everything, and I have a positive attitude anyway. And I love to dress up, and I love to play and do fun things, and it does. It helps just enhance the activity. And then there's a lot of people that that just come and they're attracted to you
Sure.
because of the fun things that you wear and what you say and do,
Sure.
and so forth. And so my saddest part is I threw away a bunch of stuff that I had before I moved here, not realizing how much people do dress up in costumes and attire for all these events.
Yes.
And so I'm sad that I didn't keep all the stuff that I had at one time
Oh my
and
goodness.
stuff. But anyway.
Well, you can always buy more.
love shopping.
So this is kind of your way of thriving. You pushed up against something that you didn't think you could do in the first place, which was go out on your own
On my
and
own.
make friends and be connected to people. And you're doing that, and you continue to do it. Is that your definition of thriving, or is there something else?
Thriving is that, plus it's getting involved in activities that bring rewarding results. Like if I get involved with the sports activities here, or the arts and crafts, and all the things that I do, and that I see people that bring a lot of talent to Laguna Woods, and I don't have that.
Right.
I was the stick figure person, the head, the body, the two legs, and the arms. And now I can do dogs and cats and horses.
Wait a minute, you're taking a drawing class, and
Yes.
you've already moved on from stick figures to fully rendered animals?
That's right, Cindy, and they're doggone good. And if I don't like them, I can throw them in the trash because no one's grading me.
That's right.
But it's rewarding for me at that level, and then there's
Yes.
always people in all these classes that help you,
Yes.
and they're so willing to help. willing.
That's so true, isn't it? Even though they're busy doing their own thing, if you ask them a question, I notice that they stop and they want to help you, learn something and get better at what you're doing, and they're very generous with their time.
Very
aren't they?
generous. They're very generous. And like I said, no one's gotten mad at me yet, and I ask a lot of questions.
Oh my gosh, oh my gosh. So your advice to somebody who finds themselves either here, newly here, or maybe they've dropped out and they've lapsed in going out to things, your advice to that person would be, just what? Just start it,
Just to
try
get
it?
in there and try it. Just to get in there and do it. And just take that step, because it's so rewarding, and it pays back tenfold.
Yes.
Tenfold, because I was very hesitant. The dancing was the hardest part, going to dances.
Oh, dances. You told me that you went to one and you thought you were going to sit there and be a wallflower, which I can't imagine, but you thought that was going to be the case. And what happened?
It was a hard step, because that was a hard place for me to go. I didn't want to go to the dances by myself. And I went there and I sat down and did my same thing. I'm Diane and I'm new to Laguna Woods, and everyone talked to me, and all of a sudden the music started. And once the music started, everyone got up to dance. And I was sitting there and I thought, uh-oh. And then this guy came up and he said, haven't I seen you at Mac Club before? And I said, yeah. And he said, do you want to dance? I said, certainly. So I danced with him, and he introduced me to a bunch of people, and I had a good time that night. And then I asked a girl, here's another thing, I stepped out of the box again, because I met a girl at Hikers Club. Her name's Gloria. She knows everyone. I said, could I go to the dance with you?
Yes.
So I stepped out in another box and asked a question,
Right.
and she said, sure. And so I think she introduced me to, say, like 200 of the 400 people that were there. I mean, it was amazing,
goodness.
because she just knew everyone, and she would just take me around showing me everyone. And from then on, I never had a problem going to the dances, because I always knew people that were there. But it's just, like I said, it's taking the chance and taking that first step.
Yes.
And just doing it, and having a positive attitude, knowing that this place is full of friendly people that want to help you and be your friend.
And I know, because that happened to me when I first met you. You inspired me to go to things that, I really didn't realize I wanted to go to an herb lecture, and yet I did, and I learned a lot about cilantro that I didn't know, and so I'm using it in my cooking, and so lots and lots of good things can happen from a tiny meeting and a tiny step. So thank you, Diane, for coming today and bringing Noelle and Daisy with you.
And can I tell you that I love Laguna Woods?
Yes, you may.
And that I feel that's one great big family of fun friends. and there's 18,000 of them to be my friend.
That's right. And you're still working on the 18,000, aren't you?
Don't know them all.
Well, thanks for coming today,
you.
Diane. I love you, and
Thank you. I love you.
I'm so happy that you're here with us.
Thank you.
Thanks so much for joining us for our Spotlight segment today. If you'd like to share your Thrive story, or you'd like to nominate someone who is thriving, please contact us using the information that's on the screen. And don't forget to watch the Thrive Show that's on Thursday mornings at 9:30 on Village Television. Hope to see you soon.